nachos, amigos, and welcome to Hallyujuku, a podcast about East Asian pop culture by a couple of guys from the East Coast of the United States of America. I'm Peter Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me is my tag team partner, my partner in crime, my right-hand man to my left-hand side, Brandon Cooper, a.k.a. King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
Snow down. The apocalypse.
Yes. Snowpocalypse. Winter has come all over us. Well, not me. I shouldn't say that. I live in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Snow bunnies. I have all the rich refugees, quote unquote, from the snowpocalypse. All the ones that could afford to vacation, all are thrust upon me. So I have that to bear. We're here to talk about East Asian pop culture. We're back at it again. New year, same us. 2019. We're doing the damn thing again. Of course, we start off every episode talking about what's new, what's going on. Kaz, well, what's new? What's got your attention? What's been going on?
Not much. There was a sad song by Jay Park that I didn't like, but so I didn't include that in this week's song. But starting off with G Friend, the young ladies from G Friend. This song is okay. I don't necessarily dislike it, but I'm not like full on championing it.
Yeah, but
I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. There's some things to like about it. It's not the full. I would say it's not the full on hype of their debut stuff or their early stuff. But it's not quite as middling and melancholy as some of the stuff that came out just after Fingertip. I think there's a lot of things that are really nice about it. It still has some nice feel to it, and the vocals are nice, and the choreography is cool. But I'd say it's not some of their best stuff, but it's good.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I like the beat. The vocals are okay. I think like vocally is probably where I have my biggest problem with this song. But I can't pinpoint it to really like come at it. But I still like it. I like it musically. There's a lot of fun to be had here. So if you're in the G Friend, Sunshine or Sunrise, I'm sorry, is probably the track for you. If you're looking for some new stuff.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We got Lee Mi-hook from B2B. If you remember B2B, I think they came out 2013 was B2B.
They've been around for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the last time like they did something as a group, and I can't remember.
Yeah.
But this is his solo album, and I like this song. I like this song a lot.
Yeah, this has a cool like energy to it and a cool like vibe to it. It's different than what we used to with B2B.
Yeah. I like the energy of it. I really like the video. His voice is really, really good. So for that first solo track coming out, I think this is a good strike of that.
Yeah, and yeah, it's impressive. Like he brings some cool things to the track that I think didn't quite like expect. I guess I don't know what I necessarily expected, but I definitely kind of like was was surprised by kind of
Yeah,
how cool it was, like how interesting and kind of like how interesting it was, like as far as like the vibe and the attitude.
yeah, like because it kind of starts out with like this very R&B feel, and it's like he goes through the ranges that you would have in a boy group track, because you kind of have the vocalization and the harmony, then you have the rap in the middle, then you go back to the vocalization and harmony, like, but he does it all like with different vocal tones and ranges all by himself. So it's like it's almost like it's a song that was meant to be for like a group, but he's like, I can do it. I can do it by myself. It's fine.
He's a one man band. He's a one man boy
Yeah.
band. Uh,
But it definitely gave me that feel. It gave me this feel that I'm like, this feels like a song that was meant for a group, you know?
yeah.
um,
I think it works. It definitely works for him.
yeah, it does. It does. All right. And last but not least for me is my boy Flow Sick. This came out back in December. But we took our winter break,
Yeah.
and so I didn't get a chance to talk about this. So I forgot about it, and then it came back up when I was listening to that J Park track that I don't like. So I just had to bring up my boy Flowsick.
Flowsick took it back to Queens.
Yeah, it took it back to Queens. This is like I first I was gonna be like, this is kind of a very braggadocious track, but it fits Flow Sick more than I think even the box trying to start his music career put him in. Because I think going to Korea and being a rapper who's very much from America kind of put him in a box a little bit. And I think he's trying to get back more to a leveled base. Like this is a little this has a little bit of a reach to it, but I think this is more getting Flowsick back to a base that he's more comfortable with.
He's basically taking it back to the bridge, taking it back to Queensbridge, taking it back
Yeah.
to where he grew up. I think like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, Flowsick is like he's had a really cool style and a cool sound, and then like this when it starts hitting, it's like, oh, this New York as fuck. This is like, this is New York as fuck, and I'm in for it. I'm into it. Like I'm in for it. Like this is him like bringing back that style. This is not that it's like, and it's not necessarily like an old style that maybe you heard from the past. It's still, I think, still modern, still updated, but it's very much like, oh yeah, this is him like being unlike what people expect from him, because especially like when you're going to Korea, you know, as a gyopo, as a kid from the States who's Korean, they kind of like, they just say, I would say in Korea they'll probably see you just as as a gyopo, as you, no matter where you are from in this lived in the States, you're just the one that lived in America, and it's just one big place.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of get clumped in with like a lot of people that are from the West Coast, and so like, you know, you could get caught in that shuffle, but then you like almost forget yourself. But he's a dude from the East. He's an East Side kid. Like he's a New Yorker. He's from Queens, and like you get to see him kind of like, oh no, this is like, I'm from a specific place and from a specific style, and I grew up in a specific with these people and this kind of attitude and this kind of personality, and I like that, like he was able to kind of like bring that out again in a song that also embraces a little bit of what, you know, he connected with in Korea as well, but bring that together, which is really cool. I don't know, at least that's how it felt like to me.
And like I think I enjoy like we talked about a song from Flowsick a couple months ago, like that had that full video, and it shows like all these people kind of going through their demons in a sense, right? I like that track too. And I like these tracks where Flowsick is more Flowsick, right? Like the track that he does with Jesse it's okay, but I feel like it's kind of playing to a base a little bit, right? It's playing to all the people who are super into Korean hip hop to do something like that. Like
Yeah.
But I feel like these songs where it's doing what you like is doing that sound that you know is you is always going to play better. You know,
Yeah.
when you kind of have you have all the other tools to be good. He has the vocal range, he has the lyricism. You know what I mean? Like he has all the other tools to be good. So I think at that point, doing a sound that you then like just makes you stand out. And this song, I was like, oh shit, fucking. But I was like, I already like Flow 6, so why am I sitting here going, oh shit?
But yeah, it's just a fantastic track. I definitely
Yeah.
looking forward to kind of like what comes of like this going forward, which is really cool.
Hmm.
All right, so as for me, the things that have been new, obviously we've been kind of on a little bit of a break, but I've been checking out a couple things. One I wanted to bring up, I finally got a chance to check out a Korean drama on Netflix, Mr. Sunshine. I wanted to give a kind of like my impressions on. I've watched the first like 4 episodes. I want to say, like
Hmm.
in the middle of episode 5, I I gotta get back to it. I just I'm weird about like things that I get into and how much I binge them at any given time, but I'll get back to it. But I think it's a good show. It's a really cool, interesting show. It's very much like it's daring, I would say. It's it's getting to some pretty violent spots. The characters are well made. The characters are well portrayed. It's you can kind of like you realize that they had gotten talent. Like they had scored talent, which is obvious because they got two people in Lee Byung Hun and Kim Tae that are just usually movie actors. So to do a TV show. Um but I think it's really well made. The production value is insane. Like it is
Hmm.
that Netflix put some money into this show. And you can tell uh it has a cool feel. So Mr. Sunshine is kind of set. It's set on the turn of the century, and by turn of the century, I mean in late 19th century, early 20th century, kind of 1900, 1899, some around there, just after the Spanish American War. Because it's gonna be that's a big part of kind of the timeline of the show. And it's about a kid who grew up a slave in Korea whose parents got kilted, and who ran away with a missioner, a mission. The One of them dudes who tried to bring Jesus to Korea. Um,
Missionary.
yeah, a missionary. Uh, to America and became like a U.S. Marine, and he's now with the U.S. like contingent, trying to like have diplomacy and relations in Korea amongst like a lot of the turmoil. This was just before like Japan was gonna invade. This is like there's a lot of turmoil between them, Japan, Russia, China. It touches on a lot of that stuff as well. Touches on a lot of like the culture of the time. It kind of like has some fun moments with that. It's really well written and really cool. And uh I think for so far so it's been really cool. There's the cool thing, like it has strong female characters, which is really cool. Like like badass women, which is really cool. Like especially the main female lead, is a really cool character because she's a noble woman by day, sniper assassin by night, like which is really cool. And it works really well. And I think overall, I think I definitely recommend checking it out. It's a nice idea and a nice story and a nice kind of cool kind of show. that I think is showing kind of how Netflix is allowing Netflix partnering with like cable companies and stuff like that. Netflix infusing their money into Korean entertainment is allowing some at least some for now really nice creative ideas and creative shows and creative pieces, which is really cool. And I'm looking forward to Kingdom, which is they're going to premiere, I think, in a couple of weeks, that's Joseon's zombie movie, which is going to be really cool. I think we've talked about it in the show, so look forward to that. But yeah, Mr. Sunshine, go check it out on Netflix. All right, so as far as for songs, I have a couple of stuff, a couple of things. A-Pink came out with a track called or Percent. It's definitely so there it kind of follows up their last track in kind of solidifying a change very much in A-Pink. They've very much turned a corner into now actually experimenting with their sound a bit. Definitely employing a more mature sound and a whole lot less beige and safe sound. Because I've liked A-Pink in the past. They've kind of had really solid. They were a solid girl group. I've always liked them as people. It's just that at some point the music started kind of like getting boring. Getting boring. It fell into kind of a safe rut.
No, just say what it is. It got boring.
It got boring.
Like
they got into a rut music.
We both very much championed A-Pink. Maybe me a little more than you did. I really did enjoy A-Pink and the sound that they had when I first discovered them. And I liked a lot of their early stuff, which is usually different, right? Usually the early stuff of a group you're not always super duper fond of. You're like, oh, okay, this is them finding their sound, and then they find a sound and you're like, all right, this is where I'm at, but I think for me it was the reverse, where it's like when they kind of solidified on something, I didn't like what they solidified on.
Yeah.
And it was just like, ugh.
But yeah, I think now with something like this is actually kind of like it's a nice, cool sound. It is the instrumental is really cool. Like, has a nice pace to it. The kind of going for less of a crazy catchy hook, and going more for a mood, is really interesting. The visuals are fantastic. They all look great. They all look great. It still breaks my heart seeing Namjoon's nose. I don't want to talk about too much about like things like plastic surgery in the industry, because I get it. It's a thing that happens with things people feel compelled to do, and I don't judge. But man, I wish she had gotten a better referral on that doctor. Like, oh, honey, like it could have. Like, I get it. She wanted to get something done, but it just didn't work out. But I don't know. That's the only heartbreaking thing about this visually. But overall, it's a really cool. Like the video is cool and has a lot of fun aesthetic stuff. I like that it centers around them doing some black magic fuckery to summon a perfect guy or something. I don't know. They just put things in a fish tank and then like put a bedazzled heart on a suit and then it floats. I don't know. The song's catchy.
They just wanted to show their power, but like it is definitely catchy. But and like you said, it doesn't have like this super memorable hook, but I do like this song. This is something I definitely could see just like jamming out to.
Yeah,
and I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
I'd be down with being able to jam to A-Pink again.
Yeah, me too.
Because you make that comparison, right? Like right now, Twice is at like kind of the near the top, right? Because they live and die on their hook,
Yeah.
right? They live and die on that catchy hook, and like not everybody needs to be that. Not everybody can do that, you know. So sometimes you got to go more and play on your personality, or play on play on your musicality, like a Mamamoo, right? Like Mamamoo has a lot of musicality, like you just have to play to your strength. And I think we're in a place with A-Pink where they're doing some good shit.
Yeah.
Hopefully they continue to do that.
Yeah. Hopefully,
but I definitely think this next group you're going to talk about is definitely doing some good shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna touch on for a little bit Luna's tracks. Not really gonna do all in it. I think it's good that she came back. It's good that they gave her songs to do, or she actually wrote these songs herself, but they let her do the songs that she wrote. Luna came out with a whole mini album EP with a couple of tracks with a couple of them being Undago or Even So, and Do You Love Me. I would say that they're good songs. They're really nice songs. They sound fantastic. She sounds great. They're no Free Somebody. I will say that's a banger. But you know what? Y'all slept on Free Somebody, so now she's stuck out here doing safe shit. And you know what? That's your punishment out there. But I think these songs are nice. I think if I would say, I think "Do You Love Me" is a better track than I would say than even so. But Even So is definitely the more radio friendly track, and hopefully works out for her.
Yeah.
Not much else to say. I think they're just nice tracks, and it's just nice to hear her voice.
I just scrolled down into them comments, people going in on SM. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah. It's SM. I mean, it's labels. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean there's just stuff down here that I agree.
Yes. Yeah. Me too. All right. And I'm gonna finish off. I think something really cool. A gentleman by the name of Code Kunst. I'm now realizing that took me seeing this video to realize is pronounced Code Kunst, courtesy of the Korean writing. I've spent so much time thinking it was Code Kunst, but I was incorrect. Dude by the name of Code Kunst. Kunst, I believe he's one of the AOMG crew. He's a producer for them. With a collaboration with Lee High, your girl from YG's Dungeon. She was let out for this one track. This is a track that I had actually heard before because she actually performed this and other tracks that she had done with Code Kunst because he was there as well. It was actually kind of like the thing was like it was Lee High and Code Kunst at South by Southwest at Korea Showcase, and they had performed songs that they had made together. And she very much made it very obvious that she very much wishes she could just go ahead and release this music. Oh well. And this is one of those tracks. It's called XI 11, or I'm not sure. And it's a really cool song. Like has a really cool vibe. Lee High is just fantastic as a singer. It's well made. The instrumental's cool and chill. The style of it is cool. The video's cool. I wish it's one of those it's aesthetic. But it works.
It's very artsy, yeah.
Artsy fartsy. But it works. And
I agree.
And I think the main thing is that the song is really good, and it's it's one of those things where it's like it's aggravating thinking about, man, the music exists, it's out there, it's made, it's ready to be released, and you didn't have to do anything, YG. You could just get out of the way. That's all. Like, you don't even have to do anything. Just get out of the way. And it's like between this and like CL, all you have to do is get out of the way. But no, like, like why you Papa YG just scumbag.
Look, it's what YG does. They as a production company just get in the way. That's their thing. They're just like, oh, you got something cool going? What's happening? Oh, did we keep that from happening? Oh, no, you know what? It's your fault.
Like, it's like, or the we can't hold this group together because we neglected, our artists and we played favorites. Nah, it's the crazy one's craziness. That's her fault. It's her mental illness. That's why the 21 broke up. Putting motherfuckers under the bus. Like yo.
Welcome to the YG.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking forward to. There's been talk of this being the year Lehigh's contract runs out, so maybe she'll be able to escape the dungeon. Yeah, and then just actually be able to release music.
Maybe
novel
one
concept.
day we'll see.
Maybe one day. But this is a nice treat for those that didn't get a chance to see Lehigh perform this live. You actually get a full honest release, and it's a fantastic track, and I'm looking forward to more of their work together being put out there. If you want to see more, I'll say go to my Instagram. I'm at PD Rave. I still have the story clips from that performance on my highlights for Korea Showcase. So check that out there. You can get snippets of some of the songs that you performed, and you can get mad too. All right. That brings us to the end of the What's New segment. Now we transition over to the headline segment right over here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Headlines here on Hallyujuku. There wasn't a lot of music released while we were away, but a lot of stuff happened. We're not going to talk about all the things that happened, but there was some interesting news and tidbits. So one of the first big things was IU kind of made some real estate moves, and people started to draw up conspiracy theories. Just because when IU breathes, apparently people get mad. And I still don't understand. I don't understand how IU has haters. I don't understand. She is this young, adorable, talented girl that just puts out good music. Like
it's people at a certain point don't like success, I think is what it is.
Yeah, and she doesn't act as perfect as people like, and
and it's the thing where it's like you have or right? It's either you don't like to see that person's success, or they're not successful in the way you want them to be, or or you you expect or you expect like you expect people to be successful in a very successful way, right? Like
Yeah.
you expect them to like uh do something very specific,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
it's this thing where it's like, oh, they're not doing the thing I want them to do. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, why is she buying real estate? Oh, how dare, why is she not doing this? And it's
Yeah.
like,
I don't know.
because she doesn't want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because that's not her level of success. That's not the success that she wants.
Yeah. So IU under fire for what's been revealed as buying an office for her mom and helping junior magicians. I don't know about magicians, but
Magicians?
musicians. uh, According to a recent report, real estate that IU invested in has become profitable thanks to the coming development of GTX high-speed rail system in Korea. The article itself basically just covers the fact that she allegedly stands to make money. The land that IU bought at 4.6 billion is now estimated to be at a market price of 6.9 billion, which is 2.3 billion won, something or other, profit. Of course, others were in line to have their property rocket upward in value, but she was the only woman and only celebrity. So if that sounds like a relatively normal investment thing, then you'd be right. However, netizens accused her of insider knowledge, blah, blah, blah. They denied the allegations. There was a Blue House petitions, that weren't popular. Real estate experts have disputed the claim, and then there was an update. Real estate experts have disputed the claim by netizens that IU brought the property with the intent of turning it around quickly and for profit. Real estate experts have spoken up, and that it is unlikely IU bought that land with the intent of selling for high profit. The real estate industry sides with IU, saying that that the area she purchased has many construction development limitations, is not a good location to choose. It's very specific areas that are, the area of land IU acquired is not that active and busy because it's a quiet setting. It's a preferred area for residential purpose or those wanting a long-term investment. Like literally people saying that, hey, we do this for a living. This is not a quick, this is not a quick flip area. You buy, if you're buying shit here, you're buying it because you want to lay roots and be, long term like office, retailer office or residential space. And basically, there were statements by IU and by Kakao M, basically saying like, "Yo, this is it's meant to be office space for her mom's business needs, and also it's like recording, performance, rehearsal, and I believe living space as well. But at the very least, like working space for that musicians could use for free, just to like practice and record and things like that, so that kind of giving back to the music community, as IUs want to do, just letting people like have a space to like just like recording studios ain't cheap, but if you can get one for free, like that's a huge help for if you're out there a musician that's young and trying to get your foot in the door and trying to make your music and make your living at this, which is huge. And IU kind of stands unbothered. And of course, she personally addressed it and kind of like showed her receipts and everything, or specifically dared people to bring the receipts if they have them. It's like, yo, you tell them, you're accusing me of, what do you prove it? Bring the receipts. Show me. Like, I dare you. But this is really cool. This is IU in the end coming out looking like $1 million and looking fantastic. And haters stay pressed.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on all this?
I mean, there's not really much thought to have. It's just like don't put your own expectations on people. Like don't just fucking let her boss the way she's gonna boss. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's it. That's all I can really think of, man. Like everything else, fuck off.
Yeah, haters back off. Yeah, I fantastic as always. Everybody gets to Doc. All right, moving forward. Now we get into the meaty J-pop discussion of the day. This is, I think, this is still an ongoing situation on some levels,
More or less.
more or less.
The CNET article I linked has like is a bit more condensed.
Yeah,
because I know you get a lot of stuff from
information. Yeah, I put a
Asian Junkie.
yeah. So I do have a bunch of the articles from Asian Junkie because they do a pretty good job of kind of compiling stuff, at least sources. So this is a nice little run through. But
Asian
I do
Junkie's
have
a little wordy for me, but
yeah. But there's also articles available from Japan Times, CNN, Billboard.
Like everybody's covering
linked up. It's a link dump over at the show notes at hallyujuku.com, aka podcast.com.
I'm gonna go through the bullet point. You stop me and add these. We'll do it this way. So one of the sister groups of AKB48, NGT48, it came under some scrutiny recently after one of their members, Maho Yamaguchi, was assaulted by two men in her house. These two men, in most allegations, were thought to be fans of the group, and did that. Now in that, if you, like myself and Petey, are either from a American or European country, you automatically go to, well, that's a really shitty situation. Hopefully those dudes got arrested. There have been some arrests made, but that's a little further down the line in this. And you go, well, yeah, hopefully they have all the details. Well, they don't, or they didn't, because of I want to call a mixture of two things: the idol industry, and then the way Japan treats women, as a cultural thing. That's kind of the big latch point for a lot of people. It was the big latch point for CNN. It was the big latch point for Japan Times. It was the big latch point for a lot of news outlets, is to jump back onto this conversation of the way that Japan views and treats women in their country. Because of this, right? So no allegations aside, because of where we are in the timeline of this story, she was assaulted by two men who were more than likely hired by a third party to do so, because of the information that they had to be able to find her. They knew exactly where her house was. They knew exactly what time she would be home. They knew exactly what room she lived in within her house. And this is all detailed in the Asian Junkie articles, as well as the CNN article. And it was also thought, by her own words and other allegations, to be a current or former member of NGT48 that is the third party who most likely set this up. But for most people, one of the big latch points in this is the fact that one, she kept quiet because of her idol status. Because
This
she
happened
was a
in
woman.
December, yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then she didn't speak up until like earlier, like this month, like a couple weeks ago, a week or so ago,
Yeah.
actually.
And the thing that made it kind of the biggest thing is not even the hiding of it. It was more of the way in which it came out, because she apologized for being a victim, right? Like, she
Yeah.
apologized that that she was not able to participate
She
in.
so she first she kind of like let the tea spill on a showroom
Yeah.
live show. She kind of like spoke out and she kind of said her piece. She before kind of being cut off quickly by somebody. She just kind of presumably management.
So yeah, that most of what I've been able to dig up is that's where the mismanagement comes into play, from then there forth,
Yeah,
and
and
probably
then
before that as well.
yeah, and then like she at their next concert she apologized for quote unquote causing trouble
Hmm.
by coming forward, and then presumably and you know I think this is going to be one of those things where it's so, where J-pop, where the idol industry and AKS finally realizes the internet exists, uh, and
I don't even think it's just the internet, because
well,
even
social media,
I
and I
think.
think awareness, hyper awareness. They can't. It's a lot harder nowadays to just
Hmm.
bury something under the rug,
Yeah.
and just like force an apology from that person, and then oh, everything's good, hey, everything, you know, we and then the you know, but even that kind of drew ire from even the fans. She got supportive messages from other idols, former members of AKB, current members of AKB and NGT, including Sashihara Reno, who is no stranger to being outspoken. Just from the observation I've seen, just from being an Asian Junkie reader, and they realized that this has gotten coverage on like CNN, Billboard, and other places. So they realize, oh, people notice when we do things like this way. Fuck. So now they're in like damage control mode. They're apparently moved a manager around.
So
They've changed the male to female
there's a
manager.
lot of reports about that as to whether they moved, fired, or what they did with that manager. Everybody has kind of different reports on that. Um, but
So,
I don't think that matters, right? Because
yeah,
that
no.
is a down from the top kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like if you've even sniffed at the Japanese or Korean music industry, you know how almost little to how much power managers have.
Yeah.
They're literally just like yes men.
Yeah.
Um,
But
at best.
they make perfect. One would think that they could make a perfect scapegoat.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
we took care of the problem, guys. Everything's good.
Yeah.
We did it.
Um, so
Yay us.
one of the other big proponents of this is, one, like you said, the internet, right? And living in a very post revolution of people having more ability to be able to say when bad shit is happening, right? And then two, the fact that fans just don't take at face value what a production company says anymore.
Yeah.
And then three, the big thing that a lot of these other bigger news outlets have jumped on was a few months ago, or maybe last year, where which last year is a few months ago, where the Prime Minister of Japan had this whole big campaign about treating women in Japan better, right? About making them feel like people, making them feel more useful, making giving them better protections of things like that. And then to have something like this at such a high level, you know what I mean? Like idol culture and the idol entertainment industry is still such a very high level thing in Japan. Um, so for something like this to happen at that level, when you've talked about doing these things that are supposed to make everything better, whereas whether you're directly connected to that or not, you know what I mean, as the Prime Minister of Japan, that makes you look bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something like this definitely makes you look bad, and it's going to be something that I would think people will probably bring up in any current discussion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you you put yourself in a situation where you're going to have a lot of questions asked of you that you don't have answers to.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, it's one of those things. It's definitely shines a light on multiple things. In idol culture, in Japanese culture,
Well, so
in
one of
Indian.
the things I love in this CNN article, well, not love, but one of these things they point out in the CNN article is Japan is ranked really poorly on two different metrics of gender equality. They ranked 1/10 out of 149 countries uh, in the World Economics Forum's index for measuring of gender equality. Um, they also rank in the bottom among G7 countries for gender equality. So it's a bad thing, especially in an industry like the idol industry where females are your biggest commodity.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Especially for Japan. It's not like
they are.
Korea where you have the mixture of boy groups and girl groups as a very big commodity. Female female driven group in Japan
Yeah,
are a very big commodity, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, there are the boy groups. There's the Johnnies has exist, but yeah, the like it's bigger. The girl group with hardcore fandom is bigger in Japan, and it's so important, and it's like, but yeah, the industry and the cynic in me is worries. You know,
yeah.
the cynic in me thinks like, okay, like very wonders if what if anything will actually happen. Like I could very much. There's one person in me that I very much see them throw a couple people under the bus, you know, remove that manager, maybe do some things here and there, do some like cursory security measures like they've talked about adding security measures. And then a couple months down the road, suddenly, hey, Yamaguchi Maho is graduating, everyone. Yay! She's graduating.
Well,
Oh, what
no,
a
no, no.
bittersweet modem. She's
That's
graduating,
yeah.
moving toward to the next part of her life. Oh, we're gonna have a big concert, and then there's gonna have a big moment. It's like, oh, isn't it great? We're celebrating Maho. Everyone have fun, and oh, this other person is graduating. Pay no attention to them, who they are. This other person's graduating. Yeah, yay! And then then they get to have them leave, and that's it.
Well, no,
Like,
no, no. That's here nor there. That is most likely what would happen if anything else. The bigger, better thing would be for everyone else to make it a political discussion, to make it
Yeah.
another thing. Like that thing that you said is here. I don't give a fuck about that. That's what they're gonna. If that's most likely their best case scenario, is to either remove one of these two people, right? Because one, you have literally a psychopath in your group
Yeah.
who is willing to pay people to attack other people. You know what I mean? Like, so that person needs to be removed either way.
Yeah.
Like, and then two, like, the mismanagement is going to happen. The thing that then there needs to happen is the fans need to do what they've been doing, right? Show their support of that person while demonizing the production house and the production company and the people who work for that company and the people who do those things. You know what I mean? It's less on the company to do what's right, because they've already done wrong. So you can't expect them to then there be like, oh, let's do the right thing. No, I always put it more on the fans and then those people to be like, you know what, these are the wrong things and we need to stop championing letting these companies continue to do that.
Yeah. And like it also speaks to how the idols are treated. It speaks to how they create these relationships with the fans and the idols, and it speaks to the competitiveness, like the hyper competitiveness that you foment with these groups, like the 48verse with the fact that there are like so many members all literally made to compete against each other. I don't know. You can't help but expect this to be the thing. Like they're like, this person is a psychopath, but at the very same, they're also a person desperate, trying to make it. Like you get the wrong kind of person in there with that desperation and that competitive environment. That's a stew to perfectly built to boil that up, and it could have been worse. Like it could still be worse. The it could be a lot worse. And I'll go further than that. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully fans, people watching will hold people's feet to the fire. Fans need to hold people's feet to the fire as far as like their favorite idols treatment and how people handle these kind of things. Or else nothing's gonna change. Yeah. That being said, all right. All the best to all the ladies out there trying to make it in the 48 machine.
Yeah.
I wish you all luck.
I do also love this picture of the management in the CNN article, because it's like, who got demoted to driver?
Yeah.
This guy.
I gotta see that. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah. I love it. That being said, I won't. Okay, so let's end on a more positive note. This is kind of cool, like a little bit of like sweet justice. MBK Entertainment trademark applications for T-Ara name officially rejected in all categories. Towards the end of 2017, MBK and T-Ara were engaged in a trademark war over the T-Ara name. MBK Entertainment applied for the right to in the categories of entertainment, photography and film, cosmetics, and clothing. T-Ara were handed a victory when Kypros refused MBK Entertainment's application in June of last year, but the fight wasn't over yet as nothing was official. Fortunately, towards the end of 2018 and at the beginning of 2019, it was revealed that MBK's applications in all 4 categories were officially rejected. On October 28th and November 8th of 2018, categories 03 and 25 were officially rejected respectively. On January 3rd of 2019, category 09 was officially rejected. Finally, on January 8th of 2019, category 41 was officially rejected as well. All applications were rejected on the same grounds, in accordance to Article 34, Section 1, Item 6 of the Trademark Act, that states a trademark that consists of the name, title, portrait, signature, seal, stamp, literary name, pen name, stage name of a prominent person cannot be registered. So basically, T-Ara can go on about being T-Ara now that MBKE, whether MBKE likes it or not, which certainly gives hope for a comeback under the name, especially if the members are to be believed. So they don't own T-Ara. Only T-Ara owns T-Ara.
So this, I'm down with this, right? I'm confused as to how they got away with this, as opposed to like other groups that we know that tried to keep their name and weren't allowed to.
The key thing is MBK fucked up because I think the big difference is Cube. I'm pretty sure Cube registered that trademark before.
Okay.
I think. And I could be wrong. People can correct me. I'd go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong. But I think they, Cube registered the trademark to Beast or Batust and then applied it to a group. Whereas,
okay. All right.
They named their group T-Ara, and then T-Ara became T-Ara. And as far as anybody is concerned, they're T-Ara, and they didn't register the trademark. So now that is the stage name for this group. So you can't register the existence of somebody else, that they are T-Ara. If you had trademarked it, like you could have said that's the brand, but they fucked up and didn't trademark it first. So
good shit.
At least that's my impression. Like I said, I could be wrong.
Anybody who knows more of the actual legalities of these things, I would love just like.
Yeah. Why this worked for T-Ara and not for Beast, for Batust. Not that I don't mind the name Highlight, but your boys a Beast. Though they have their own issues going right now because they all lost their college diplomas. That's a whole other. That was a whole other thing. But yeah, MBK Entertainment taking that L, and I could not be any more happier. I'm looking forward to the fact that apparently Shannon is going to be free of that dungeon. So looking forward to that. She keeps dropping hints, which is awesome. She can take her sassy self out there and really conquer the world. And then MBK can go eat a penis. That's for all I care. Yeah, T-Ara fighting. All right. That brings us to the end of another fantastic episode of Hallyujuku. Kaz, what's going on? What's going on in your world? What's going on with you?
We got the return of DKG Whelp. We're back from our break as well. And sports odds and ends, because we're coming to the end of the football season, and someone cares, but it's not me.
The big game. The superb owl. It's like the first season ever that in a long time that I have no idea what's going on because I have not been watching football this season. But you know what? Basketball is happening. And the Heat don't suck. So that's what I'm happy about.
Yeah.
So that's all I care about. The Heat don't suck. And who knows what's going to happen to the Marlins, but hey. But yeah, sports.com. He's at King Kaz. I'm at PD Rave. The show is Hallyujuku. It's at hallyujuku.com or kpoppodcast.com. Rebelli.net for this and other shows, including Record Breakers, which also kind of had a bit of a break. We're kind of having a bit of a reset.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?
Keep an eye out for that. Kind of, on the first episode back, we're going to be talking about Lehigh at least. I'm going to rant more about YG and why he's a scumbag. So look forward to that. I'm going to subject other people into my rants.
Give it to me straight, Doctor.
But yeah, check out all those things. iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube. We're all over the place. Rebelli TV on YouTube.
Give it to me straight, Doctor.
Like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell. I guess. I don't know. I don't care. Do all the things. Until next time.
Why, I think you're crazy.
Hasta los huevos. Fighting.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.